Persuasion principle number 1, prepare and protect your heart. Number 1 thing, it's at the top of the list for the reason. When we go out without a prepared heart, we are putting ourselves already in a losing position. Already in a losing position. Why? It's an emotional sale. If you are not emotionally present and in the right emotional state, you're going to struggle to sell. But you got to prepare and protect your heart. Here's the first thing. Now, some of you guys, my heart goes out to you. You lost a parent growing up. I hate that for you. I did not lose a parent growing up. But both of us need to get to the same state when we go to sell. So as I'm heading to the field, here's what I picture. I picture what my life would have been like if one of my parents had died. Because I tell you what would have happened. We would have lost everything. We'd lost everything. I would have ended up growing up in my grandmother's spare bedroom with my siblings and my remaining parent. That's what would have happened. It would have changed the whole arc of my life. And if you think I'm a little messed up now, let's peer down that parallel universe where I grew up with Laverne Sparling. I miss my grandma, but man, eccentric does not begin to describe her time on earth. That would have been, I wouldn't have met Holly. Does that make sense? I wouldn't have Tinsley, I wouldn't have Chandler. I mean, it's a whole, so can you see where you're getting your heart right? Because you've got to be there so you can speak through that energy, that emotional energy. Now, once we're there, you got to protect it. Have a playlist, a very specific playlist that you listen to while you're in the field. And think through not just the tone of the music, think through the lyrics. Take 0 chances with this. If you're listening to the radio, you're probably going to end up in negativity. I was coaching a guy one time, and he was struggling closing. He would book an appointment, they'd be there, but he couldn't close anything. Well, here's what I found out. He was listening to angry political talk radio the whole time he's in the field. So guess what? He shows up at their door, and how does he look? Pissed off. Now, generally speaking, in a survey I did, most people prefer not to be around people that are pissed off. So he's coming to the door already at a loss. Does that make sense? Once we got that fixed, he started closing. Now, you might be more elevated than I. I had someone come up to me after an event one time and say, that whole playlist thing doesn't work for me because I only listen to audiobooks. And I said, oh, well, I beg your pardon, good sir. If you're going to say something that condescending, you should wear a monocle. Just heads up for later. I'm not an audiobook guy when I'm in the field. I do have some positive audios that I like to plug in and play in between my songs. But have a playlist so that you don't take any chances. Now, on the way home, you need to have a victory song. Why? That way you cement in with that music, that feeling of winning. So whatever that song is, pick it. You also need a rebound song. That way, if you start to slide, if you miss a few appointments, you need a song that will get you recentered, get your mind straight again, get you back in a positive place so that you're back on attack. Now, I was in high school in the 90s, so the Smashing Pumpkins is one of my favorite bands. My rebound song is Today by the Smashing Pumpkins. I'm serious, like any bad thing can happen. And I put that song on, and I'm right in like 45 seconds. The energy of the song is great. The message is great. Pick your own. I'm just giving you an example. Does that make sense? But you got to have something you can go to if you start to slide. There's no reason to have a whole night of appointments go bad on you. Every appointment is mutually exclusive. They didn't all meet right before you came out in the field. Bob here. Oh, great. You're here, Bob. Now, you're here at 6 o'clock. What's your plan? Well, I was thinking about... They're all mutually exclusive. So have a rebound plan to get yourself right. Here's the other thing. When it comes to protecting, limit the calls and texts you'll take. If you're married, take your spouse in the field with you so they can see what it's like. Once I took Holly in the field, she understood what it was like, and she knew that calling me and asking how's it going is not helpful. Does that make sense? But unless your spouse sees that, it's going to be hard for them to know how to support you. So anybody that's negative or could potentially be negative, don't take their call. Jeremico Edwards, I can't wait to see you speak, Jeremico. I was so fired up about that. I'm so proud of you, dude. He was in the factory, and then he started selling here, and he would struggle because mama would call or so-and-so would call. And I said, in the factory, if you were on the line and and mama called the factory, did they go, Jeremico, your mother's on the phone. No, it's the left foot this time. Yeah, can you come up and take? No. He said, no, just keep working. And he said, I got it. As soon as that clicked in, can't take calls of anybody that could potentially be negative. And really, unless it's, if the end of the world happens, I have relatives that will inform me and I'll let you know. So you don't have to worry about anybody letting you know that the world is ending. Does that make sense? Be very disciplined about that. Last thing, jam your schedule full. Jam it full. You need more appointments than you can physically get to. Why? That way you have zero gaps. Gaps always get filled with negativity, doubt, and worry. When you have a gap in activity, that's when it happens. Nobody's been running on a treadmill at the gym at full speed and gone, you know what? I think I'm depressed now. No, why? Because they're moving, they're in action. Does that make sense? The doubt can't creep in, the negativity can't creep in, the worry can't creep in, especially if you're brand new. You don't need to be worrying about all the stuff that's going on in your head. Cram your schedule full. It'll also keep you from sitting with morons. When your schedule's full, you're like, I ain't about to take this. I'm out. I'm already 45 minutes late for my next appointment. I learned this lesson on Ross Cragen Road in Asheville, North Carolina. If you want to come to Asheville, I'll take you to this place, to this apartment. Because I was selling a policy, I was trying my best, and the guy's just an idiot. And you say, Stephen, that's not kind to call people idiots. You haven't met this guy. He was an idiot. By the way, I know statistics. If there's enough appointments in a day, I'm going to have 3 idiots. I just don't want to spend more idiot time than I have to. I try to limit my idiot intake, if at all possible. And I said, look, ma'am, I'm going to apologize to you and those kids, but I'm not going to be able to help y'all tonight because I'm a professional and I need to be treated as such, and that's not happening here tonight. So I apologize to you and the kids. I'm throwing hard shade right there at the guy, right? By the way, if you do this, just know where the front door is so you don't accidentally open a coat closet on your way out. That'll kill your street cred, I'm just telling you. Well, I will see myself. I was so proud of this lady. When I said that, she said, no, you stay. She turned to him and she said, you shut up. And I was like, it's going to be about $150 a month. I feel it. How much repentance would you like to buy, sir? Here's the point. I never would have done that if that was my only appointment and if I didn't have another appointment for 3 hours. I would have sat there, let that guy beat me up, and I'd have been so pathetic and beat up by the time I got to the next appointment. The guy would be like, hey, I'm glad you're here. I really need to buy this. I'd be like, well, you don't win them all. Right? Messed me up, right? But because I had too many appointments, I was like, I ain't staying here with this moron. Make sense?